The biotech shooting application is broken up into two different sets of sensors. One of them, one set of sensors is actually attached to the shooter himself or herself so that we can monitor things like such as respiration and pulse, anxiety level, things like that. And we can monitor trigger pull. The other set of sensors is actually mounted directly to a rifle or the shooter's arm while they're shooting a handgun. And what we do is we leverage the different sensors inside a cell phone. And what you see here is this is a screen for a Samsung S4. And we have an adapter, and what we do is we mount the Samsung S4 to a rifle or to the arm of a handgun shooter. And we utilize some of the sensors that are inside the cell phone. Some of those sensors are, it's got GPS so we can tell where you are. That's pretty simple. And then we have the ability to measure acceleration and gyroscopic motion, which means that because we're attached directly to the rifle, we can measure the movement of the rifle, and because we're recording trigger pull, we know when the trigger is pulled, when the shot's made, so we know how much the rifle is actually moving. We can record the audio as another side effect, and we can actually, this cell phone has two different cameras, one forward facing and one rear facing. So that means that because we're mounted to the rifle, we can go ahead and we can record and video and stream real time the shooter's eye movement at the same time that we're looking down range, and we're synchronizing the eye movement, and so we can go ahead and watch exactly where the rifle is pointed. We know when the trigger is pulled, and we know what the eye movement was, and we bring it all together. So if we start this off, we actually have just very few sections here really. One of them is binaural playback, which is a set of tones which a shooter can listen to and can actually calm the shooter down when they're taking the shot. So if we, so you can see the binaural playback. Then we have some location-based services, so we can track where the shooter was. Not so much real time, but you can record where you were when you were taking this shooting session. Then we have something called Biometric Track, and we have a help section, and we have credentials so that we can support multiple users, and we have some enterprise hooks, which really just send you back to our web pages. So if you look at the credentials, you can see here that it'll support multiple users and username, password. You can tie into multiple servers. The server can be around the world if you want it to be. It's not a big deal. We can attach to that too, or it can be in one of our trailers, or it can just be down the line or sitting on your bench when you're taking your shot. If you look at Biometric Track, Biometric Track is broken up into a set of things that we can record. One of them, as I said before, is the actual audio, and we can record tilt, and you can see some of the static images of this if you go to some of the other places on our web page. We have a real simple way of detecting go, no go. In other words, no go if you're actually moving the weapon while you're taking the shot, and go if the weapon is really settled out and you're ready for the shot. Then we have the ability to do a video. That's the where we're recording the eye. We can allow, if we go down a little bit further, we can have an instructor actually take a video of you while you're shooting, and that's actually recorded and synchronized with everything else. And then we have the movement of the weapon, which is more graphical representation. So if we come back up here, audio, it's pretty simple. And you can see if I'm actually talking, it's recording the audio. And at the same time it's recording the audio, it's sending it over to a server so that it can be synchronized with whatever else is going on. And down at the bottom we can set the sensitivity. And we have go, no go. And we'll change the sensitivity. So I'm moving the device a little bit, and this, what it does is simulates you moving your rifle. So if you can set the sensitivity and how closely you want to track the movement of your weapon. And actually, what I do is I use my peripheral vision, and I can actually be looking down the scope or the EOTech, and I can actually watch this guy flip back and forth, knowing what I'm moving. It's more, it's a key. It shows that you're doing something when you shouldn't be doing it at a certain time. If I have movement, you can see here is X, Y, and Z. So we'll sort of let this puppy settle out. And so that's about where you want it when you're about to take a shot. And you don't want to see stuff like this while you're actually going through the shot. This too is also being recorded, sending over the server, and it's being synchronized with your trigger pull, whatever else you're set up to watch. And then, as I said, you got your video, and I'm not going to bring that up, just a little bit of privacy here. And that's about pretty much it. And I'm going to attach this video to a web page that actually has a bunch of pictures out there that you can look at some of the static images. Thank you.